Thanks so much for being with us, Mayor. You say that you assume everyone has the virus and is just asymptomatic. You want casinos open, Vegas back in business. Is that a responsible call to make?
That wasn't the call that I was really making. It was to get people back to work. We have so many in our hospitality crew. Probably we're 2.5 million people down here in Southern Nevada, and we have so many out of work because of
But
the
you want the
casino
casinos open,
shutdowns.
yes?
Well, that's a piece of it. I want the hotel rooms open. We have 155,000 hotel rooms,
Right.
and most of our people who live here and are part of the population are hooked to those hotel rooms in some way or ancillary way.
So you want
And
like hotel
ultimately-
rooms, casinos, the theaters open? I mean, you want Vegas back in business, no?
I want our restaurants open. I want our small businesses open. I want our people back in employment. We have so many families that can't even afford to get the groceries for their family because they've been out of work for 6 weeks.
And
so it's all
casinos,
part
you
of
want
it.
them open because obviously visitors are not going to come without casinos and shows and things.
Well, no, they'll come because of what they love. We've got Major League Sports here, and
So
we've
you want
got so
stadiums
many
open?
handsome. I'd love everything open because I
Okay.
think we've had viruses for years
So that-
that have been here.
That is the call you said you weren't making. That is the call. You want casinos open, you want stadiums open, you want restaurants open, you want Vegas back in business.
And
I
Anderson, you're being very specific, and I appreciate it because that's where you're seeing it. No, the reality is I want us open in the city of Las Vegas so our people can go back to work. And
Okay.
that's it, because we're putting children and families back out on the street, and very much a part of it for our convention business are our hotels and, yes, gambling. And gambling is a part of it.
So you want conventions in the town too?
Absolutely.
Right.
I want everything back. We've never closed down the United States. We've never closed down Nevada. We've never closed down Las Vegas because that's our job, an entertainment capital of the world where everything's clean. We would never have gotten to the point we are now as a center for entertainment and conventions and sports and everything else. It's
Right.
so positive
Let me
without
ask
being
you-
clean.
Right. You're talking about encouraging hundreds of thousands of people to come to Las Vegas.
Right.
I get the financial losses people are suffering, which is awful. But you're encouraging, hundreds of thousands of people coming there in casinos, smoking, drinking, touching slot machines, breathing circulated air, and then returning home to states around America and countries around the world. Doesn't that sound like a virus petri dish? I mean, how is that
Know
safe?
what it sounds like? You're being an alarmist. I'm not. I've lived a long life. I grew up in the heart of Manhattan. I know what it's like to be with subways and on buses and
I'm being
crammed into
alarmist.
elevators. I think you are by saying what you have just said.
So you
I'm
don't
the one
believe there
that
should
is
be
saying-
any social distancing? You don't believe
Of
that
course
this is
I believe there should be. Of course. I'm a
How do you do that in a
rational.
casino?
That's up to them to figure out. I don't own a casino. I don't know anything
Wait a
about
minute.
building a casino.
I'm sorry. You're the mayor of Las Vegas, and
Yes.
you want casinos to be open, even though you have no authority, thankfully,
Yes.
over casinos. But
Yes.
you say open them up, but you have no responsibility about how that would be done
No,
safely.
you're blurring. No, you're blurring.
You said it's not
I'm
your
going
job.
there. I am not a private owner of a hotel. I wish I were. And I would have the cleanest hotel with 6 feet figured out for every human being comes
So-
in there.
If you can't figure out how to do this safely, why, as mayor of a city that you are responsible for the people's safety, are you calling for something that you have no plan for how it would be done safely?
I am not a private owner. That's the competition in this country, the free enterprise, and to be able to make sure that what you offer the public meets the needs of the public. Right now, we're in a crisis health-wise, and so for a restaurant to be open or a small boutique to be open, they better figure it out. That's their job. That's
So
not
let me
the
ask you-
mayor's job.
Okay, you said in another interview, you said, quote, let the businesses open. Competition will destroy that business if, in fact, they become evident they have a disease, they're closed down.
Oh, yeah.
It's that
Oh, yeah.
simple.
Yes.
Do you stand by that? Because it would take weeks, as I think you probably know, before anyone realized a place was a epicenter of viral infection. I mean, that it would take weeks for that would actually to show up. You're comfortable with that?
You're a very good interviewer. I've watched you for years, and you're wonderful. And I'm not going down that road. I am sticking with what I'm asking for. Please, our governor.
I'm
and
focused
our
on what
state.
you're saying, Madam Mayor, and what you're saying
You're
doesn't
trying
make
to get me
sense.
to say something. No, that's your opinion of what you think I'm saying, and I am being very clear. I
Okay.
think our governor has a great and a
So
difficult job
but you're
to
saying
do.
competition.
I want the
You want
city
it to
open.
be like the free market. Everybody gets to go into these restaurants, and if it becomes a center for viral infection, that the market will decide.
Anderson, nope, we weren't.
That's what you said.
We weren't broken when we were closed down, and
You
yet
stand by what you said.
I think I had it.
You said let the businesses open. Competition will destroy that business if in fact they get evidence they have a disease there. So that should happen. Just let the businesses open. If it becomes a vector for viral infection and those people go back to their states and around the world, so be it.
It's a responsibility of each one of us as a human being and part of the civilized world to know when we're sick. We don't do bad things to people at all, ever. This is a city that's built itself because of the ingenuity and creativity and passion that people have here to work and to live the American dream.
Right.
And that's who we are. And we have proven we've been very successful. So all your questions are great, but I'm not offer my call. Please let us open the city of Las Vegas. Let us get back to business.
One of the things that you claimed is that you take your lead from Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci does not, I mean, let me play something Dr. Fauci has said about reopening and about social distancing.
No. I was asked. Wait.
Okay.
The whole thing is, when I was asked who are the people that are advising you, I had said different physicians, different people out there. I mean, a whole bunch of people that I hear from all the time because I am the mayor. And fortunately, I get their input. Some's good, some's bad. And the reality was, when I was asked through the governor's office, who is my authority, because he's relying on his authority.
Right.
I said, well, let's go to the top of the line. I don't know Dr. Fauci, but I take his word. And when he said, this germ, wait 1 second, you asked the question, let me answer.
I'm not interrupting you. I'm listening.
Okay, thank you. Well, maybe it's breathing. I'm sorry. I'm being silly here. The reality is, he has said that this very serious disease that's out there could last into December, could recur every year, and could be part of something that we will be dealing with for a long, long time. So taking that into consideration, and that we have, once you're diagnosed that you're positive, we have no preventive treatment other than staying away from everybody, which is your choice to do and has been asked by our governor, and everybody's doing, but with no timeline, no treatment, and no cure, no vaccine. This could go on for months, maybe even a year. But what we do know,
but science tells us, and Dr. Fauci isn't saying wait a year. Dr. Fauci is saying, and all scientists are saying, it just needs some more time to get this to where a medical establishment is up and running, and where there's enough PPE and there's enough testing being done and contact tracing. What are you doing as mayor to improve contact tracing and testing in Las Vegas?
Well, first of all, as someone who's pretty sure she possibly had it in January, I have already been into the hospital to say, take my plasma.
Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what are you doing as mayor to improve contact tracing?
I'm calling upon everyone to go ahead, if they're positive, to go ahead and see if they can help being part of the preventive or the treatment pool that will have this plasma available.
Are you doing anything on testing and contact tracing? Because in order to open businesses, every scientist says that is essential.
I don't have that. Well, no, that's for our scientists. And the whole thing is fact. Truth,
but you're
validated data.
Fact, you're calling for businesses to reopen. Every scientist and person who looks at this says what we really need to do that is more testing and more contact tracing.
That can't work. we're not getting the truth. And I know over the years, going back to the 1950s with the atomic bomb, don't worry about more testing in Nevada. You'll all be fine. Take a shower. The reality is,
you're the one saying you'll all be fine. What we're saying is testing and contact.
You're putting words in my mouth. I said, open up Las Vegas. Let us get started and go back to work.
As mayor, what are you doing to encourage?
Can't even feed their families or take care of their families.
I get the pain that's out there, and it's real, and I'm not minimizing that at all. I'm just asking you as mayor, what are you doing to improve testing, make it more accessible, and improve contact tracing? Because every scientist who you say you listen to will tell you that's what you need in order to get online as fast as possible. What are you doing?
Every single email that comes in with offers to give us the kits and get everything here, I send it up to the people in the hospitals for them to filter through to find out if these test kits and everything that's being offered and provided.
You said in another interview that you talked to Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti.
Yes,
you actually talked to. Okay. If you talk to Mayor Garcetti, he's doing everything he can to improve testing in Los Angeles.
I think that's wonderful,
doing? And you said it's not your job.
No, it is not part of our job. That's part of our health department, part of our hospital jobs, our labs. Those are the ones who are the experienced, knowledgeable,
so you're not rolling up your sleeves, helping your health department to try to figure out.
My days are so full. I am everywhere in the city trying to hold the hands of families and everyone else to get them back to work so they can pay for the food for their children and keep a roof over their head. And we are 2.3 million. And we have so many, probably close to 900,000 that are out of work because this wonderful city's been shut down.
Listen, again, I don't want to seem, I'm not, I understand your position, but I don't really understand your position because I think you see your position, I guess, because you have no control of the casinos and take no responsibility for it, you can call for whatever you want to call for. But the people who actually do have to be responsible for the health and safety of the people in those casinos and the employees that you say you care so much about.
Absolutely.
Right. Those people are saying
the owners.
It's not the time for that yet. I want to just show you.
No, they aren't. No. The hotel, depending upon who you speak, with whom you speak, I hear all the time from the casino owners who want to put their employees back to work. 7,000 people.
I'm sure a lot of owners want their businesses up and running. That does not surprise me.
Yes, and Anderson, you can find people to speak on either side. What's happened in this country is so much anger and just everything being fanned.
The governor says
I admire our governor.
And the governor says, unfortunately, I've known the mayor. I don't need politicians weighing in on what what's the best date would be.
I am a politician.
I need doctors and medical sound advice.
No. And who are his people? And are they, in fact, the best that we can have? I'm assuming yes. And all I'm doing is asking for a plan so I can tell our people who are calling by the thousands, when are they going to get a paycheck? How can they get a roof over their heads? I am down in the groundwork with the people who've made this city what it is, who've come here to live, come here to build it, and we were not broken, and we need to get back to work. That's it.
There's Chinese researchers have shown how this virus spreads. I just want to put up for our viewers. This is a restaurant.
Anderson, you are tough.
No, I'm not
We're back to China. This isn't China.
Yeah,
this is Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow. Okay, that's really ignorant. This is a restaurant, and the yellow circle. That's an ignorant statement. That's a restaurant, and yes, it's in China, but there are human beings too. That yellow is a person who is asymptomatic and infected, and all those other red circles are other diners who that one diner passed the virus to. All those other people became infected in a restaurant that had air conditioning, and they believe it was the air conditioning which helped the virus spread to all those other people.
And you remember the Legionnaire's disease in 1976 in Philadelphia came all through the air conditioning. You don't remember because you're younger.
I do remember.
Typhoid Mary, who I think passed away, during the late 30s, rode the buses, was a cook, and she was asymptomatic, and she spreaded a fear of getting typhoid, and she never showed a sign of it. And she lived most of her life quarantined. The reality was, I think 58 people passed away from typhoid. And so we're aware of this. We learn from history. We've had Ebola. We've had the West Nile. We've had polio. We've had these
none of those
horrific,
were as
painful.
infectious in Las Vegas. I mean, you didn't have people with Ebola on a casino floor. You know what? If you
Well,
did,
we don't know that.
Well, yeah, you do, because if you had
The
it,
neighbor of mine died from West Nile because the swimming pool on the next property was filled with mosquitoes, and the people who had abandoned the house left the pool full. So we live with this. This is part of life.
just as mayor,
the challenges.
As mayor, are you not concerned when you see just that restaurant graphic, how air conditioning spreads this and other people become infected?
Yes, from Legionnaire's disease. That's just what I said. We lost a lot of people in that hotel who had gone ahead and been in the hotel and
there
died
were
because
steps,
it came through.
right? And there were steps to take to stop that by changing the air filtering. If my memory serves me correct, on Legionnaire's disease, there are not yet the steps to take with this other than social distancing.
Right. So people do that. I mean, I love watching our people here. They're so careful. And even as we have, we work every single day. I have not missed a day. And anybody who is in or comes into the office that needs an appointment or has an issue, they all are with their masks on, or we always enforce social distancing. And the office is absolutely pristine with germ-free.
You're talking about your office.
Well, hopefully everything in the building. We've shut down the lobby. But I mean,
you know how. Look, Mayor, you love your city, and I get you want it to go back to work, and I totally get that. And you hear from people, and you're in a really tough position. I get it, but it just seems really irresponsible, given that you actually have no responsibility or say over casinos or what happens on the Strip, that you're not out there doing anything about. You're not doing anything about trying to improve testing, like your friend Mayor Garcetti is doing in Los Angeles, or improve contact tracing. You're simply sitting there and saying, get back to work, get these casinos open again, and you have no idea or plan, or you've done nothing to try to figure out, well, what's the best way to make that happen? How far apart should a dealer be from the people? How should the hours? I mean, you're offering nothing other than being a cheerleader, which I guess is what part of your job is, and I respect that. And you seem like a very nice person, but I don't understand. Do you not have any sense of responsibility if you're calling for something to at least try to work to make it?
I speak with the owners of our city casinos every day, almost, and they're all in such pain of having to furlough or let everybody go in the casinos.
Yeah, I'm sure the casino owners are very sad. I get that.
Well, no, they're very sensitive people that care about their employees and having shut down the businesses here. These are people, not the Strip hotels. That's under the jurisdiction of the county, our unincorporated county. Our jurisdiction here,
I'm sure.
Las Vegas.
My heart doesn't. I mean, casino owners. No. I'm sure they're probably doing okay. It's the people who are working on the floor who are the ones who are going to become infected and potentially die.
No, you're talking disease. I'm talking life. I'm talking life and living. These are people who have had to abandon. Well, it maybe doesn't to you. It does to us here in Las Vegas. They've had to release all these workers that have no other source of income to feed their children. And they're also having to make a way to go ahead and help support the city. So at the time it opens,
usually the ones releasing the workers are generally doing okay. They're the ones who have a lot more money. It's the ones who are actually released who are really suffering.
Side of the fence. I am talking about the workers. I'm talking about the low low-income, middle-income workers that are out free and without a dime in
Right,
their
you're actually talking about
pockets.
casino owners,
And
your friends, but
no, I'm not
now you
talking
switched.
about casino.
Right, well, you were, but
No,
now you
I'm
switched.
on
So
the
go ahead.
same. No, that's been my focus from day one. If you go back to everything I say, it's been always about putting our workers back to work. It is not about the casinos. It's not about anything other than putting those who've lost their jobs in a city that wasn't broken and didn't have disease back to work. We're 2.3 million people here. We have over 300,000.
3,900 cases in Nevada, 163 deaths, and that's with social distancing.
Nevada,
You're saying there was Nevada. You're saying there was no problem in Las Vegas, like there was no disease, there was not the virus in Las Vegas? Because earlier you said you believe everyone's asymptomatic.
I'm sure in January. And I know plenty of people who were coughing. Some had fevers, and if they did, they stayed home because they thought it was the flu. The flu is unbelievably powerful still. And so, of course, we know that. We've tried to work on the sensitivities of people to be responsible as to spreading any kind of germ, whether it's the flu.
But don't you think that it's worked
something.
in Nevada, in Las Vegas, social distancing? Don't you think it's worked? Because, I mean, 163 deaths. That is compared to some other states. That's low for those families.
We're 2.3 million people in southern Nevada, and we've had 150 deaths.
163, I believe, is the latest number, actually.
Well, that's for Nevada. That's Nevada. This is
Right.
down here, 150.
Okay. So you've had almost all
million.
the deaths, by the way, in Nevada, you've had in Las Vegas. So you've had 150 deaths out of 163 deaths.
We're 2.3
Isn't that
million people
because
here.
of social distancing that you would have had far more without it? Do you not believe that?
2.3 million here. There are 3 million overall in the state. The numbers may be off, but I know we're well over 2 million.
Do you not believe social distancing has helped keep people alive?
We're at the lion's share of the population and the income and the jobs. When you have 2.3 million and you have lost, and every one of those 150, oh my gosh, it could be your own mother, your own grandmother, your grandfather, your brother, your sister, anybody, every one of those lives is a tragic loss. But when you count 150 versus 2.3 million, you have to say, we have to open up. We have to go back. Our bus drivers, our
But hasn't it been because of social distancing that the numbers have been what they are?
How do you know until we have a control group? We offer to be a control group. Anybody who knows anything about statistics knows that, for instance, you have a vaccine.
You're offering the citizens of Las Vegas to be a control group to see if your theory on social distancing works or doesn't work.
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Don't put words in my mouth.
You just said we'll be a control group.
Excuse me. What I said was, I offered to be a control group, and I was told by our statistician, you can't do that because people from all parts of southern Nevada come in to work in the city. And I said, oh, that's too bad, because I know when you have a disease, you have a placebo that gets the water and the sugar, and then you get those that actually get the shot. We would love to be that placebo side so you have something to measure against. So all the data until
you want to get the placebo. You don't want to get the actual. The group who gets the placebo, by the way, usually gets the short end of the stick.
Well, you don't know. How do you know when you're in part of that group?
Mayor, if casinos reopen, are you going to be inside those casinos every single night, putting your own life on the line?
I have lived in this town for 56 years.
Are you going to go to casinos every night and put your life on the line like all the workers you say you're there holding their hands?
So they don't need it. We weren't broken. We tragically have 150 people we lost. Tragic. We have 2.3 million people here.
I haven't heard you say yes that you would be sitting on those casino floors every night along with the people that you say you are holding their hands with.
What is the purpose of that? First of all, I have the family,
because
and I cook every meal every night.
Putting money where your mouth is, to use a Las Vegas term.
Anderson,
you say it's safe.
Anderson.
Okay, so you're not willing to sit on the casino floors with them when they reopen and breathe the refiltered air.
First of all, I don't gamble. I used to gamble when we first came to town. I don't have the time. I work 7 days a week. I have so many things that I have to attend to. I can't
I
sit
wouldn't
on
want
a
to sit on those
casino
floors either.
floor.
I wouldn't want to sit on the floors
Well,
either. I'm with you on that one. Mayor Carolyn Goodman, I appreciate your time, and I wish you the best for the people of your city.
and I know I went to school right around the corner from where you grew up on the East River.
Oh, that's nice. Well, thanks. I would just advise you to talk to Mayor Garcetti about what you might be able to do to improve testing because testing and contact tracing is the way forward, according to every scientist.
Well,
So,
I have spoken with him about the homeless, which are of greatest concern to me, and about our middle income and low income families that are now shut out of work and earning a livelihood. And so that's where he and I talk, because
okay.
the reality
Well, you can talk about
is,
testing because I would. That's important
that's
too.
not my job, unfortunately. Sadly, it's not my job. I just assume everybody can be.
I guess Mayor Garcetti has a larger job portfolio than you do.
Yes.
Mayor
Oh,
Goodman.
definitely he does. Thank you.
All right. I wish you the best. Thanks very much.